Yo, what's good with it, Pack fam? It's your boy, Mr. Check My Resume. We about to get into this 0-day watch list class tonight. Looks like we got a lot of tickers. We got a lot of tickers. It looks like that we'll be able to kind of sift through and see what's good. And yeah, see if we can, make some chicken tomorrow, man, and do what we typically do. So just a few housekeeping items before I get into it. First things first, this is the 0-day expiration class. This is not the, class for the basics or the beginners. So people coming in, we come in with the expectation that you kind of have a understanding of the codes and what we're discussing here. And if you don't, try to ask some questions in the chat. This isn't one of those lecture sessions where I answer a lot of those types of questions. It's more so setup based. And then the second thing, these are 0 DTE contracts, meaning they expire tomorrow. 0 day, that means we're buying tomorrow and closing tomorrow. So what that means in terms of the contracts is that they are highly volatile. It could be good or it could be bad, just depends on your execution and your decision making. And so we go through a process here because these are risky trades. The probabilities are low for the average retail trader. So if we're going to approach these types of trades, we need to go in with a process and a mindset and a plan of how we're going to execute come tomorrow morning, so that we are not dealing with analysis by paralysis in the midst of the trading session, which is just going to be a killer. So with that, like I mentioned, they're highly volatile and risky trades. So if you are a new trader to the pack, just a new trader in general, or to the strat, it's okay. You can, fall back and just kind of observe and see how we operate tomorrow. It's all good. Document the process, watch us go through it. It's very informal, casual, but we handle business at the same time. And then other than that, y'all already know the drill. Put your tickers in the chat, and I'll get through each and every one of them. And that's pretty much it. Obviously the last, well, it's not even the last thing, but just getting into these setups, I'm going to run a scan today based on a inside 4-hour setup. I like to identify setups on the 4-hour time frame versus the day. It's a matter of preference, I would say, but I like the results and kind of how these have played out. Doing it in this way, using the inside 4-hour scan, but that doesn't mean we exclude daily setups either. It's just, that's kind of where I start from and looking for these plays. And a lot of times I have no need to even look for daily setups. We find what we're looking for here. So, and I like that type of setup because I like to take trades that I can sit in. I can, take and be in for a couple hours, an hour, maybe half the day, depending on, how the relative strength is of the stock. So I'm looking for a longer move. I'm not looking for scalps. That's the idea here. I know we have hit on multiple 100% type of plays recently, over the last few weeks. We kind of do that consistently. So so that's what we're gonna do tomorrow. So we got to get in here and identify which plays we're gonna take advantage of. All right, so without any further ado, we're gonna get into this scan real quick, pull up some tickers. After I go through these tickers for a bit, I'll go ahead and start going through the list of tickers in the chat, and then we'll dive into it from there. So if you got a question on these setups, please jump in. Don't feel like you gotta wait on me to finish, just jump in there. Also, what was I gonna say? But anyway, just jump in there if you got questions. And this is what I was gonna say. If you have any, this call is specifically for trades for tomorrow. So we're not looking at long setups or, swings or anything like that. We're looking at, trades, particularly for tomorrow. That's what this class is dedicated for. So just, try to direct your questions in that manner. Like to keep the group focused on that. But there will be some we come across that probably will have good long setups too. So anyway, let's get into it. So first off here, we just ran a scan on TOS on looking for an inside 4-hour setup. So what I'm looking for with that is trying to identify candle or 4-hour setups that are bullish in nature. I think we can look for bullish setups. We saw how the day ended. We saw how the market moved towards the end of the day. I think that it's pretty safe to say that it's probably a good idea to look for bullish setups. So that's what we'll do. Also, we want to take some things into consideration, such as things that have been already running that are in force, that are, we want to look for things that just didn't start running the last half of the day. Like we want stuff that's been going up over time. We want to find continuity. And, obviously there's some nuanced things we'll talk about as we get into the tickers. So don't want to give it all at the beginning. So anyway, let's start diving into these tickers. First one I see here, and I'm gonna just shout out that boy Legacy because he been on that China, real hard. Pull up JD right here and see what JD's giving us. See if it's giving up the goods for tomorrow or what. But China's been looking real strong. Got a couple things I'm looking at here. We got the outside week, outside month. And we had a very strong 2-up day today. And today we had a inside 4-hour to close. It looks like it did push down, and then price was bought up towards the end of the day. So there is a 2-1-2 setup potentially there on the 4-hour. The likely, in my opinion, I think it will probably go 2-up tomorrow, but the setup isn't the best looking, but you do have this JD 4-hour entry above 65.37. And then you'll get 2-up continuation on the day at 66.42. So you do have a potential there, but we'll keep going and take a look at what else is moving here. Next one I got here is Plug, PULG. Right here on Plug, we got an inside 4-hour candle. Uh-oh, damn it. Didn't mean to do that. All right. Yeah. There we go. All right, so Plug had a very good morning, took off, went crazy. Pulled back, as you can see. We've got this inside 4-hour candle set up here. We've got the 2-1-2 above $30.10. That's a lot of work for it to do. Went 9% today. It'll take a lot for it to get back to 31.56, but that is your initial target there. We can set the alert and see what it does tomorrow. But we could have it could be an inside day type of deal tomorrow on Plug, but we'll see. We'll see if the bullishness continues. The buying was crazy today, so we'll see what happens with Plug tomorrow. It's a lot of range that was created on that between that morning and afternoon candle. But it's got to do some work. Okay, 30.10 is our level. Just looking at 2-up continuation on the day, potentially on Plug. We'll see what else is out there. Some other stuff. It's a lot of China. I'm not gonna go through them all, but I would imagine they all kind of have similar looking setups. Baidu would be one. Yeah, Baidu looks very good. So Baidu, 2-up on the day, 2-up on the week. You got an inside 4-hour setup. You got an entry level above 150, 120 on Baidu. That's a very bullish, very strong looking setup. If it doesn't gap up tomorrow, yeah, that thing looks good. Baidu looks like a winner. Baba should be similar, yeah. So China, they still look bullish for tomorrow. You kind of take your pick and chart them. I'm not gonna go through each one. All right. So again, you got Neo, and I would imagine Neo looks similar as well. Yep. See. So yeah, China. I think we can all throw in that same bucket. They're looking bullish. Have the 4-hour setups to boot. So now we're gonna keep it going. Next one I see here is Royal Cruise Lines RCL. We got inside 4-hour setup on here. So we've got an entry here, and I have to draw some broad information, but it looks clean. We got a 212 here on the 4-hour above $44.34. So we'll do 44.30 is my alert level. We'll do a 212. So that's that. 2 up on the day. I mean, very bullish right now. CCL should look similar. I'll take a glance. I actually like CCL better than RCL to me, just in terms of how the stock moves. But again, this one has a little bit better looking setup. It is still 2 down on the week. You got an inside 4-hour and an inside day. So you've got a couple setups there. The 4-hour, you got an entry above 1062. And then on the day, you got an entry above 1069. And both 212s, 212 on the 4-hour at 1062, and then on the day at 1069. So, CCL looks good, but so next one we're gonna look at D-Dog, then AMD. So D-Dog looks like it had a little nice move towards the afternoon. Got above point of control here on the hour, 2 up on the day. Very strong 2 down on the week. So we're looking here at D-Dog for a 212 on the 4-hour above 110.60. I'll mark this level. One of the things that I found with D-Dog on these 0 days is that the Greeks are terrible. So typically you have to look for quicker moves on this one. You can't, this isn't one that you can like hang out in the whole day unless it's running. Now, if it's running, that's different. But if it's just hanging out, go flat for an hour or two, it's not, the Greeks aren't going to be in your favor. So just be mindful of the Greeks when you're looking at these and correlate that with like, how well you can hold, you in terms of holding in time that you're going to have on the contract for tomorrow and how long you're going to hold them. That is something you should take into account. So, D-Dog. AMD, Juniper. We'll take a look at AMD, June, we'll leave it alone. 2 down on the week, very bullish 4-hour setup here. Got the hammer. Got a hammer on AMD looking strong. That ON doing the damn thing. All right, 2. We got entry level here above 97.28. So looks like we'll get continuation. Challenge here is that you got rotten formations right here above his head. So we want to see very quickly if it has the strength and if it has relative strength to push through those BFs, because that'll pretty much end the trade pretty quickly if you run into those BFs. So be mindful of that. We got some other setups that may be more appealing. So I always take that into consideration when you're looking at these trades. If they got the BS right above their head like that, you just got to take that into consideration. What does that mean for you? Does that mean it's going to break through? Is it going to reject when it triggers? All that. So it's all about the decision making. So this is SEC limited. It's not what I was trying to go for though. Oh, crowd. The crowd took all this week. Outside week triggered to the downside and went crazy after. Yeah, crowd is right near its broad information, however. So unless you're anticipating a breakthrough, just like the last one, you just got to be mindful of that. But it does have a very beautiful setup here on the 4-hour. Looking at a 212 above 203.27, and we'll get 2 up on the day at 203.67. So we'll be, that one looks good. I mean, it really does. We'll get 2 up tomorrow. We'll see how far it pushes beyond that broad information. It'll probably push up in some respects. So keep it going. We're gonna take a look at Teladoc and then Rocket. We got TDOC here. We got a lot of these tickers that are 2 down on the week with like bullish candles because they've had some nice reversals over the last, they reversed over the last few days is what I'm saying. So you got TDOC right here is another one. Actually, this is one we hit last year, like 1,000% on a 0 day. It does have potential to move. I just have to do some further assessments, make sure I have my BFs on it. But I'm going to set a trigger just to make sure I look at it later. 3504 entry level or 3505. We'll see. I'm not sure if it'll make the cut, but we'll see. WDC, QCOM, win. Oh, this QCOM looks fire. So QCOM, big TTO we had here on QCOM. Looks like it's reversing back to the upside. Looks like we're gonna go back and try to go retest this monthly broad information up here around $200. But we got a little time before it's gonna get there. Right now we are 2 down on the week with a very strong looking hammer. We're 2 up on the day. And now we're looking at the 4-hour with this inside 4-hour setup with the hammer. Looking at an entry above 146.42. We do have a point of control just above his head at 147.59. However, sorry about that. So you got an entry level on the 4-hour here above 146.42. So that one looks really good. You got point of control that you want to be mindful of. But again, if we are bullish tomorrow, this will be one that could push up beyond that point of control level. I'll be setting an alert for it, and I'll be evaluating it later on in this evening to see if those contracts looking like. 146. Yeah. What do we got? So it is setting up for a nice one for next week, though. Okay, we got win and charge point. So you got win, the reversal off the quarterly BF. You got the reversal. I mean, it flipped back into continuity this week after the push down last week. We got the 212 here on the 4-hour, and that is above 64.97. And we're 2 up on the day, looking for a continuation on the day. Yeah, I mean it has potential to go ahead and go 2 up tomorrow. But we're looking at an entry on the 4 here above 64.97, which will give you that 212. But you see what's setting up here. We're getting setting up for a 322 on the week. So we I think this was just had just a TTO and is going right back in force. I am still in my long positions. I didn't cut anything, still holding on to those. Ooh, this is a trigger. All right. Looks like price is pushing up a little bit after hours. Okay. Got charge point lucid LVS. Damn. Charge point looks good right here at this level off the broadening formation. That's textbook. That's textbook strat right there. Looks like it broke through, came back and retested, closed 2 up but red, then continued to push up off that inside candle. Closing. Yeah. So we are looking at an entry here. Actually, 2. We got a daily entry as well. I mean, this one has some nice setups, actually, for long and a swing. So anyway, we got this 212 here on the 4-hour. You got with entry above 1572. Charge point looks fire, man. I'm gonna set it. I'm gonna set an alert for it. It looks better than plug setup. Yeah. I mean, they both look bullish, but if I was splitting hairs, this setup. And the daily alert. We got a 1574 level on the day. $15.74. That weak trigger looking scrumptious down there. I'm gonna have to wait on it though. LVS, Las Vegas Sands. That one looks very bullish as well, similar to Win outside week. But if you go back about 5 weeks, it's like it's just been going flat. It's just been choppy. But tomorrow looks strong. Looks strong to go try to push up to the broader formation again. Let's see. LVS contracts are not that bad. So I'm gonna take a look at this one. I was almost gonna be like, nah, I got Win on here. That's enough. Dang. The thing's very close to trigger as well. LVS, net shops. Let's take a look at airlines. Man, everything's setting up for this nice TTO. Look like a market TTO, man. So here on AAL, got a 212 here above $14.45 on AAL. We are just below that broad information. Also looking for a 2 up on the day. It's not bad. Let's see what DAL. like where DAL sets up the best. The airlines all have the same looking setup to me. I'll take it. Just, yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's like airline sectors looking bullish, looking like it's gonna go tomorrow. So I mean, my advice would be just pick the your favorite out of the pack, out of the group, and roll with it. To me personally, though, just based on where my charts are, because I don't have all my BFs up on these, I don't think. It looks to me as though Delta has the cleanest chart. But can't verify that until after I add all my BFs and all that good stuff. So anyway, airlines look good. So if we see any more airlines, I'm just gonna skip them. So, yeah. Oh, did I set a trigger? Hold on. I think I did. So I'm gonna set the Delta trigger though. So 212 here on the 4 hour above $34.01. Airlines look strong. Okay, let's keep it rolling. Rolling. All right, I'm gonna take a look at like one or two more tickers, and then I'm gonna jump into the chat. All right, so next we got Lyft, then General Motors. Man, what you do when everything's got all these great looking setups, right? What do we do? So here on GM, we got another inside 4 hour, very bullish. Looking for entry here on the floor above $40.44. It's a lot of fours, but yeah. So you got the 212 bullish continuation there on GM. So yeah, so moving on. That one looks good though. You just got a BF here on like around $41 and let's say even lower, like 30 cents. So there is a little bit of room there to move on GM. So if it does move, and those contracts can pay on the 0 days if it does move. So that's the qualifier though, if it does move, So that's the only thing with GM, but GM, we like the company. We like the stock. And then Lyft, another one. This one, Lyft, I'm not going to consider, but just because of the conflict. Like I got, out of a lot of these tickers that we've seen, there's some with like better continuity and things of that nature. So if I was to like pick one that's like in conflict, I don't know if that makes a whole lot of sense. Even though it could very quickly tomorrow, now that I'm reading more into it, if it got above 1626, you put everything back in continuity, except for the year. But I don't want to have to like decide to play for all that. I want my play just to be simple. It's going up. And I'm just catching something moving. We got a lot of tickers, man, a lot of sectors, and I haven't even gone through like many I wanted to yet. So there's a lot. We may just break it down by sector tonight so we can kind of make it, not short, but efficient. I like that word. All right, so here on the daily, looking at Valet. Now we done told y'all how to say it. When you in the ghetto, they call it Vail. And when you out, like when you out in the country parts, it's valet. And if you're in the suburbs, it's valle. You know, so, you know, make sure however they pronunciate it, that's where they from. So you just know that. Anyway, double inside days on Vail. I said like I'm from the hood. So on Vail, we got the double inside day. We got an entry above $13.57. Man, y'all know what double inside days do. We don't have to say too much about it. We don't have to say much about the double inside days. So we're gonna get this trigger out here and just keep it going. That's a good one. Seven. All right. So now got the double inside day. I'm going to draw some broad informations to kind of see what our targets are going to be on this, but it looks really good right now. Also, let's see. Keep it going. Let's get out of here. So, yeah, Vail looking good for continuation. Bullish continuation. Demir, BAC, and CCJ, ASA. Let's see. Let's take a look here. Okay, first one here is, oh yeah, BAC got the 212 potential continuation, bullish continuation off the 2 down week. So a couple things, as you can see on my screen, I got a couple BFs in the way. They are weekly level broadening formations. So while the setup looks very good, and I think banks, if I was to go to some other banks, maybe that can give me some context into, yeah, see, JPM's at a BF. Who else? The Sachs, they're just under BF. Wells Fargo, they're at a BF. So yeah, the banks all have very bullish looking setups. So it's not just BAC with this. So what I would do is just measure, you know, if you want to take this trade and deal with the broad informations and what comes with that. Or do you want to, if you still feel bullish on financials, but maybe the broad informations or, you know, affect this trade, maybe you want to look at one of the other banks. But I think as a sector, they look strong, they look bullish. So yeah, BAC looks good overall. I think there may be a couple other financials that may look a little better, but like you say, continuity is in your favor except the year. But when I start going and looking at the others and comparing, I'm like, who would I play out of these based on, you know, where they sit on their charts? You know, it looks like Wells Fargo has the cleanest opportunity to break free. So anyway, that's kind of how I assess those. But yeah, that BAC looks good. All the banks do. I don't even know which one I want to put in put an alert on. I don't want to do all of them. I'm gonna put this alert on Wells Fargo. I probably think JPM is my favorite, but I'm gonna go with Wells for my alert tomorrow. Or you could even trade XLF. Never done an XLF for 0 days, but I have traded XLF before. That was actually pretty good one. So anyway, 212 here. Wells Fargo, same setup for BAC. Looking at a 212 above 35.27. And then you've got this broadening formation, 35.27. Then you got this broadening formation around 35.40, somewhere in there, 35.45. So that will be the main thing I'll be, you know, watching for there is on BAC, those broadening formations. But overall, looks like they're reversing up. CCJ. And the broad informations may not reject it. It just may hang it up, like slow down the price action. And so that's more so what I'm thinking about versus it being rejected. CCJ, man, y'all you know how we did CCJ last time we put it on the 0-day list. Oh man, so it was CCJ. We got a Chicago setup here. Looking at this 312 entry above 2732. Let's do 2730. Did I say it was Chicago? Yeah. 2732. I like that. I like that setup on CCJ, sitting on top of this BF here. It went and retested it. Close with price pushing up toward the end of the day. I like it. I like it. CPB. See this chunky suit? CPB. There we go. Sitting on top of a BF. I like that. See, it's been creeping up steadily. So you got a 212 here on the 4, 5127. Still inside on the week and it's red. And you had a 2 down day today. Interesting conflict y'all got going here on CPB. 2 up on the month. Macros are green. Inside week closes at, inside week opened at 5134. So technically you could finish green pretty quickly. Actually the wheat went red today. Okay. This one could flip back in continuity like pretty fast. And then on the day, the day is whatever it is, it's today. So yeah, this one could reverse back up tomorrow. I would look for this 212. You want to play it. The challenge is with CPB, you got to see if there's people at the party because it can have the most fire setup. But if ain't nobody there for the 0 day, then ain't no point in spending the energy and time researching it. That's part of the reason some tickers are not selected is because if they don't have like a fair amount of contracts available for the 0 days, then so you could exclude some tickers by for that reason. So just be mindful of that. Be mindful of that. Okay, moving on. FedEx. FedEx inside 4 hour. Inside. So this one here looks like it's pinching in between 2 broadening formations as well. Setup looks very strong. Chicago again, 312 entry level above 228.14. That's a strong looking setup. I just don't like the BFs above its head. So we'll see if there's still selling going on at that level where that BF is. It appears that that's a level where there's been selling. So we'll see what happens there. Yeah, this one. Man.
What's that BF that you have?
Say that again.
I said, what's the BF that you have? Is it a monthly, daily?
Nah, those are weeks. Both of those are weeklies.
Weeklies, okay.
Yeah. Yellow, cool. Yeah. So yeah, the colors I got is yellow week, blue month, green quarter, and light blue is year. And if you see a white one or a gray one, it's gonna be a day or a micro. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Valerie, see the MOS. Please remind me with Mosaic. Okay. I haven't I haven't pulled up this ticker in a long time. All right, this one's on the move. Like it's the midst of a breakout. So we like that. We like that for these 0 days. We like to play stuff that's in the breakout. I don't know. I don't have familiarity with like the contract distribution, but I can tell you this: the setup is looking very nice. Like you had a TTO from the morning session, and now pushed back up in the afternoon, and then you're just looking for that bullish continuation here on the 4 hour above 62.06. That's a good one. But again, I don't know what the options look like on this one. Analyze them and give you a better idea of what the payout's going to be. Okay, so that's that. Adobe. All right, man. You know about that Adobe. Man. So here's the deal with Adobe. You're dealing with a lot of conflict on it. So I guess like in my mind, in terms of my preference of how I like to select trades for the 0 days, I would like to pick stocks that like are not in conflict, that essentially are already moving in force with continuity, and they're TTOing essentially, and I'm just trying to get in something that's already moving up in force. So there's no like indecision or like confusion about our buyers present. I want to already know that buyers are present, and I just want to get in something that's either consolidating or like taking a TTO. So in reference to this particular ticker, I guess the question is not about if this one's good or bad, but is there something better presenting itself? And so that's where I would probably make my argument, because even within XLK, there are better setups. I just don't like something that's been down for, I don't know how many days is this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9 days. And then, one afternoon candle to the upside, which is very bullish, very strong. It makes me a little bit concerned about its trustworthiness in actually going up tomorrow after it breaks its trigger. So that's where my head goes. But through none of that did I say it wasn't going to go up. It's just, for me, I'm trying to take the highest probability ones. So while this one may go up, it's not giving me all the signals I need for me to be fully confident that it will go up. But I do see this hammer on the day today, this 2-down hammer. That is a good sign of a reversal. But just to kind of go back to my methodology for this class, is that I particularly do not look for reversals with the 0 day trades, because I want something that there's no doubt that it's in force and moving in the direction I want it to go, because I don't have time to sit and wait. Time is not my friend on 0 days, so I want to take that part of the equation out of it. I want to know that it's already going forward, and I'm just getting in a moving train. And so when I see reversals, ain't nothing wrong with taking a reversal. For my preference on these trades, I wanna eliminate the potential for it to fail. So, or at least mitigate that risk. And me catching a reversal, there is always going to be that percentage that they may reverse and fail, versus something that's already moving up. In the TTO instance, I can catch something that's already in force. So if I catch something that's been going up for 5 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever, the likelihood of that continuing to go up tomorrow morning is greater than the one that's been going down for 8, 9 consecutive days. So that's kind of how I weigh it out. It's not so much about Adobe. Actually, Adobe is my favorite in XLK, but just looking at it from like a probability standpoint, that's all.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, Jasmine, for my 0 day contracts, what time frames am I drawing my BFs on? So there's a global answer for this, and then there's a specific one. So The global answer is we should be drawing all of our broad informations from the year down to the week. First things first, as you're deciding trades, and that doesn't matter if it's a day trade or not. Like, it's not particular to a trade, it's particular to the levels of the stocks you're looking at. You just need to know those levels based on those broad informations. Now, then, as you want to decide the different trades you want to do, in this case, day trades, like in my instance, I'm taking entry on the 4 hour. So I would want to draw my broad informations on the day. I would want to know what a higher level, because I already have the year down to the week. So now if I'm taking 4 hour entry, I want to draw my broad informations at a level higher than the time frame that I'm trading on, so to speak. So if I take a 4 hour entry, I want daily broad informations on there. Now later in the day, or if I'm taking an intraday trade, like on the 15 or 30 or something like that, then yeah, you can go to the hour or something like that, draw those lower ones. But it's all about, like, for me, I've seen cases where I don't need to draw those 15 and 5-minute BFs because I don't trade on those time frames. I'm taking a 4 hour entry and then I'm looking for something to be in for a couple hours, an hour or two, you know what I mean? So maybe half the day. So those smaller BF time frame BFs don't really matter to me, except for unless I want to know where the pullbacks and, you know, the pivots are going to be and stuff like that. But that's kind of how I approach it. I already have my global, like, you know, broad informations. That's always a must for every ticker. And then if I do a day trade on it or a 0 day, like in this case, I'll go and like draw that lower BF time frame so that I can see those levels. I think for me though, once you get to a certain point in the strat, you may not even have to draw those daily BFs. You can just kind of see and identify those outside bars and kind of understand where those levels are. But yeah, I would recommend you just go ahead and, if you know you're going to day trade or do these 0 days, then go ahead and draw that daily BF levels as well, in addition to the ones that we all are, you know, preaching that everyone draws. You can't really, you can take good trades without the BFs, but you can't manage them appropriately without them. So that's so just, you know, be mindful of that. Thank you for asking that too, though, because that is a common thing that people ask about. What you got here? HUT, hut. Was like hut came back to the not broad information, to the point of control here on the week and the 4 hour and the day. Okay. And it is giving us a Chicago setup here. We got an entry level above $2.28 on hut. You know, my kind of thing with the, you know, the not even penny stocks, but just the small caps is, you know, I have a preference to play larger caps because of, you know, the strength in buying and the buying and selling pressure seems to be stronger in those on these 0 days. But you know, you can't negate good setups when you see them. But yeah, so while I don't see anything wrong with hut, me personally, I probably stay away from it from a 0 day perspective, only because I have this kind of thing about the stocks. If they're like under $5 or something like that, I usually stay away from them for 0 days. It has nothing to do with the companies themselves. It's just how they have reacted to like broad informations. They just don't have the relative strength that I need a lot of time. I don't know, just something I've seen over time. Yeah, so Jose, point of control is the price that has the greatest amount of volume per said ticker. So in this case, this red line where it says $2.19, that is the price where there's the highest amount of volume based on this time frame and interval of time. So this is the 4 hour time frame, and we're looking at a 20-day chart on the 4 hour time frame. So in the 4 hour time frame, over the last 20 days, the highest amount of volume is at this level here, this 219 kind of thing. So that can tell you, that's what the volume shelf is about. It's showing you what price levels that volume is coming in. So then once you slap these broadening formations on there, them puppies be correlating. You're like, damn, it's a lot of orders at the top of this broadening formation. They're probably gonna be sell orders because it's the top of the anyway. We're going a little too deep, but yeah, it's yeah, that's what that means. And each time frame we have a different interval. We as PAC, we try to make sure that we're in sync with the members. So we try to share those time frames that we have for hours, because we're during the trading day, it's really difficult to answer those questions like if we're like in the midst of a 0 day. So we try to like, hey, get your chart set up, all that stuff, do that in off hours. But yeah, we have a time interval for all of these. And then that way, when we're talking during the day, we can all kind of relate to each other. We're speaking the same thing. So if he says, oh, such and such hit a point of control, all I gotta say is what hour, what time frame you're looking at, kind of thing. Or if he says, oh, the weak point of control, I know because his interval and my interval match. And so that's how we're able to communicate so quickly and freely. All right, moving on. ACN, Accenture, okay. I have not played this stock before. I don't have any broadening formations. The setup looks very nice. Weeks 2 down, green. Looking for a very strong inside bar this afternoon. Looking for a 212 here above 309.95. We're only 18 cents away from that trigger point. ACN looks strong. My expectation is that it will go up tomorrow. Yeah, you dirty dog. Hey, so you got that THPT, man? Damn, yeah, man. You're gonna be looking good tomorrow.
Being tricky.
Hey, something. Hey, I can't even say it. I can't even say what I was gonna say.
Hey, it was the red hammer, man. I had to do
it. Right, hear that. Hear that. It's gonna pay off for you too. Man, well, we got this Starbucks, not to be confused with Starbucks, who just IPO'd this week. We thought Charlie was on the mic tripping this week, but it was actually a Starbucks. All right, this might be the most fire one I done seen today. Is that a BF right there? Nope. Hold on. XLY, can I trust you tomorrow is the question. So yeah, this Starbucks looks mean. You see the kiss off the BF right there. If y'all hoopers, you get the kiss off the glass. Yeah, that's like it just kissed off the BF right there. Say, all right, we out of here. So we got a 212 on the 4 above 87.43. Wow, we right near trigger. This one looking real bullish. I'm gonna draw some broadening formations on here. It's getting me a little too excited right now. But I like this. I like this. What y'all doing over here, Starbucks? Y'all trying to gear up for pumpkin latte season? Is it has they announced that yet? I ain't even been tracking this year. Yeah, I don't know either.
But you know what's coming. You know how they do. They go hard for that, man. Yeah, it's Christmas in September.
Yes, sir. Okay. Yeah, Starbucks looks good. I like that. Let's get back up. Okay, ups. See if these ups. Yeah, somebody who was bringing up ups. Oh, that was Cam talking about XLI earlier today. Yeah, ups. UPS looks solid. Um, we still red week, but we're right here. I mean, at the level 205.50 is where we go green on the month. So I don't think the fact that it's red matters like at that level. Is that 2 down on the day? Yeah, okay. Interesting. All right, so we got a Chicago set up here on the 4-hour, looking at a 312. Price closed today like right at point of control or just above point of control. So that's a good sign for us to get some continuation potentially tomorrow. In my estimation, this is just like a daily TTO, to be honest. I mean, really, it's like a big flag, honestly. So, but yeah, so we're gonna set up this 4-hour trigger here. We'll just put my alert at 205. It might not be enough space in between. That's okay. And then we're gonna put the Rev Strat day trigger. $205.04. Oh. Okay, interesting. Both of those triggers at the same level, the day and the 4-hour. Be mindful of those double triggers. So let's see. All right, let's keep it going. NVIDIA continuation outside day. 2 down hammer on the week. There ain't no setup, but that thing fire, y'all. That thing is hot fire. That is hot fire. You're gonna have to find your intraday setup or intraday get in intraday tomorrow. That's your best bet on NVIDIA. Is she gone? She's a runner, she's a track star. Is out. See you later. See the AMD. You got AMD. You got a potential on that one. Where you right here. I already got a trigger set on that, but we just under some broad information, so that's why I try to be like, look, I just don't like taking trades right below, right up under broad information. Personal preference though. Again, at ON, same thing. You would need an intraday entry on that. Marvell looks similar. Outside day. QCOM was the only one that gave an entry, and we got that on the list. So that's one chip related one that you could take advantage of if you're looking for chips. Intel's gone too. I forgot the one Boss Game. Boss Game, if you in here, drop it in the chat. There was one Boss Game that was playing. I just need to pull it up. Into it. I have not looked at this ticker in a while. Into it. Got the inside 4-hour hammer here. Looking at an entry here above 64.65.98. Check the Greeks on these. See if those contracts are favorable to you. That's always something we should be mindful of when we pick, especially the ones that have the higher prices on them. There's usually a pattern where they don't have very good Greeks, and naturally 0-day contracts do not have good Greeks, so even by those standards they're bad. So here you have a 2-2 rev on the day. We're looking at a level of 466.69 as a level for entry. To give you that rev strat on the day, your first target would be 487.80 on Intuit. Not sure what the buy-in price. I haven't looked at Intuit contracts in so long. I couldn't tell you or give you any reference points today. So let's keep it going. No, blue collar I have not, but I'm going to take them out now. CVX. Here we go. CVX, we closed at 164.90. Looking at 2 up on the day. We broke the triple inside week. It is unstuck, people. It is unstuck. Just want y'all to know. Whatever that means. I don't know what stuck means, but it is unstuck. And we have triggered the week, triple inside week, as well as the reversal on the month. We all know what triple inside weeks will do. So be patient. Don't shortchange yourself by getting a day trade on this thing. But we do for tomorrow. I have some longs and I have some weeklies. So I'm in this play, but I do see an opportunity to increase my position tomorrow. But I'm looking at a 212 on the 4-hour here above 164.80 for CVX. And as you can see, there are broadening formations above his head. So you've got to be mindful of that. Now, we may not stop, get rejected immediately from this first one. And honestly, I just think it's probably going to go chop its way up, not in a manner that we prefer, but I think it'll go up through these BFs, but probably chop when it does it. So just be mindful of that if you want to target your trade, to this area of the broadening formation. On the 4-hour, that's totally fine. Just be mindful of those levels because they're not far away. So just be ready for that. 166 is where that yearly BF begins. So just be ready and be mindful. But I like PBR, especially if you're in long. It's not even a question. I mean, CVX. Tomorrow looks fire. PBR, peanut butter jelly. We've got a Chicago potential here on PBR. Looking at this Chicago above $14.59. Looks good. Did I set the level on there? No, I didn't. Let me go back to CVX real quick and set this price level. Totally skipped that. See, I do it with y'all right here every time. Okay. One. Damn it. Damn, okay. Giving me a hard time over here. All right, CVX is in. PBR inside 4-hour setup here. We've got 2 down on the day, red hammer off that move from the morning. Looks like we got the 3 down with the reversal off the broadening formation on the 3. Now we're looking at 312 continue reversal to the upside above 14.59 on PBR. And that looks solid. We just had a lot of price action today in that first candle of the day. So PBR looks good to continue doing what it needs to do tomorrow. Be targeting today's high. But I believe you'll probably get a 2 up tomorrow. But yeah, PBR looks solid. Just like we had a TTO today, dealing with that broad information. Looks like it gapped over it. Yeah, it looks healthy. Looks healthy. Yep. GE, PG. I think we already looked at GE though. But yeah, GE. Based on the setups we've seen today, I don't know if anybody would like put this one in high regard versus some of the others that we've seen. There's been some really good looking setups. So so just be mindful of that. Then the next one here, we got Procter and Gamble. Oh man, they got you right here at the Broadening formation. Did we close above it or under it? Well, we closed above. Very good. So that's good. So okay, we're in play. So on Procter and Gamble here, we've got this 312, or is that no 212 here. Potential on the 4-hour, that's above 145.77. I'm gonna put in my alert here on this one. $145.77. Okay. Also on the day, we do have this reversal. What's interesting here with Procter and Gamble is that the rest of the sector is like going crazy. So it seems like this one's lagging. We had We had the gap down, 2 straight days of selling, and then today is when it like, all right, buyers are like, all right, cool, we ready. So I feel like they're gonna push this one, buy it back up, take it 145 back to 150. Not sure we'll get all that price action tomorrow, but that is what I'm seeing out of Procter and Gamble. We're gonna go back to this level where price kind of just sat and chilled for about a week. But yeah, Procter and Gamble 212. Also got the Rev Strat on the day here. We'll put that in at 145.78. Right. What y'all got going? What else? What else? What else? Okay, Procter and Gamble, Dollar General. You know how we feel about DG now. Ooh, look at that. What the hell? What y'all doing over here with Dollar General, man? Whoa. The range on this candle, 235 to 248. Wow, it's $13 candle. Whoa. Hey, all right. Oh, so we got 312 Chicago. You know, I like Dollar General. The thing with Dollar General is they may not even have the contract, but we'll take it out. We'll check it out. Let's go. 246, 42. We hot micing. All right, 2-2 rev on the day. And that may be the more prudent one to take is the daily trigger because of where it sits in relation to that broadening formation. 4-hour trigger is just under the BF, but the daily trigger is like above. So you could say to yourself, you know what? I want the greater confirmation that it's above that broadening formation. And I'm not going to take the 4-hour, I'm going to take the day trigger, you know. All right, 1 second. Yeah, so right. 48. All right. DG back to 248. With the volume profile. Yeah, so the volume profile indicator is already on TOS. So yeah, you can use that. I don't think yeah, you don't only thing we do is just we oscillate it to a different side, but no, yeah, it's fine. It's in TOS. Yeah, and it's a monster. Once you put the broad informations with it, like it's like whoa, like oh, this is another world. You went to the matrix. CHPT. Oh yeah. So Charles. So minimizing your risk is not about the amount of money that you put in. That's how the stock market plays you. So that's the whole concept of why they take advantage of retail traders. So yes, obviously we know like the further out in strike prices that you select give you the highest rate of return in terms of percentage of your contracts, but you're trading that for probability and likelihood of your trade succeeding. So our style within this group, because I know I've been a part of other groups and they just try to catch those momentum plays, try to be far out the money, just catch the percentage on the run up. And you know, you got to put in a lot of money. That's not how we go about that process. We do have a process to do that. But it's not so much about trying to find the cheapest strike with the biggest return as it's more so finding trades and taking those for a longer period of time that can give you that return without the risk of like taking the L on your trade. So what happens is the market is intended for you to, oh yeah, put $30 in, $50 in for this contract, one or two, $100 here and there. They nickel and dime and nickel and dime and nickel and dime. And then when you roll up the math at the end of the day, 80-90% of the people doing that have lost all their money. That's just a fact. So unless you trade, unless you're in that top 10 percentile that can consistently day in, day out, successfully beat the market, which takes experience, skill level, and understanding of the market to do that. I'm not going to teach you the first thing you learn is how to do a half court shot. That's not how you know. So I would say, take the standpoint of looking for like the best possible trades that can win. Like I need to know the winners. And then based on the winners, I'm gonna go and evaluate how much I can make off the winners. So we go and evaluate each of our potential trades before we get in them, because we'll know what that potential return on investment will be. And then we compare and contrast those contracts. Like, so for tomorrow, we'll be doing that tonight. So all these tickers, I'm gonna go through contracts, I'm gonna evaluate strike prices, and I'm gonna put them on an analyze tab and see how much they'll pay me in my return. So I know before I get there. So that's our method for doing that. But it's not so much about picking the strike furthest away because you give up probability by doing that. So for me, when we're doing 0 days or even day trades or scaps, you pick in the money or at the money. You don't play around with it like that. Maybe if you're just super convicted, you maybe get one strike away. That's it. You don't play like that. It's too much risk involved. The risk is you winning or losing the trade. The risk isn't the money. You see what I mean? The risk, like, yeah, the risk is part of it. Yeah, is the money. That's why we do starter entries. But if you're following the steps that we teach you, you will already be putting in starter amount of money. So really the risk is picking the proper trades. That's the risk. Like you've got to make sure that you get in good trades, because you can pick, you know, what you think are the right contracts, but if you're still selecting the wrong trades, so that's where I would put my focus, is trying to get into winners, and the rest of that will take care of itself, honestly. So that's been my goal with these, particularly with the 0 days. You just got to focus on winners. The winners will take care of themselves. I've seen like the percent chasing will get you clapped, or just kind of take you off point of what you know, take you off your schedule. If you got a schedule, you're trying to increase your portfolio, I've seen it. It's like, oh, this gonna pay this much, oh, this gonna pay this much. And we take the trade based on what the percentage is gonna pay versus if the trade's actually gonna work or not. That value has been lost because of the potential for how much we can make. And, you know, that's not a place you want to be consistently. So I would say focus on identifying the winners, then evaluate the winners and see from there. But I wouldn't go with the mindset of which ones can I make the biggest return on first, because that with the least amount of investment, because that's what the market's set up to do for retail traders. They want you to do that. That's why they encourage you to get weekly contracts. Oh yeah, it's only $30. It's only $20. It ain't that much. What's $30? But after a billion people do that, oh, you know, so, and then you keep doing that week after week, week after week, week after week. Yeah, there's data to support it. So we just try to play to the probabilities. That's really the main thing. So but nah, great question, because that made me answer that one. So that's funny, Jay. Yeah, CPT, yeah, they killed that today. So yeah, so what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna get back into this list, man. See what else is on here. There were so many tickers, so it was like I knew we wasn't gonna get everything. Y'all must be full. Y'all feeling good with what y'all looking at, then. But we ain't even look at a whole bunch. I'm gonna jump around and see if there's stuff that I like. And maybe just set an alert for it. We'll check it out a little bit later. Like this Ford. If discretionary does want to give us bullish action tomorrow, these will be some that we'll have in place in case that it does. I'm not a genie, so I don't know, but we just make sure we're prepared for whatever situation presents itself, and that's kind of how I look at it. My watch list development is really based on having all bases covered, based on my different thesis and scenarios of what could occur within the market on that given time period. So if it was, you know, like tomorrow, it's a daily kind of snapshot. So my setups I have different theoreticals. Like a market could do this, it could do that, So if based on those different theoreticals, I'm gonna have different trade ideas based on those. And however the market plays out, I'm covered because I've gamed it out. I've kind of thought through that. And that's where you can that's why we say use the strat as a tool and not as the end all be all. Anyway, A, B, and B, Beyond, Citigroup. I didn't even look at Citi. I haven't been liking the way Airbnb's contracts have been recently, for it to have dropped the way it did. I think I got enough discretionary, so I'm gonna leave. This is the last one I'm gonna put. But I do want to look at some energy tickers and staples tickers before I let you all go, because I didn't see many on here. So we just want to make sure we're covering all bases here. See, here's the thing. The market's giving you all these bullish setups, But just know that all these bullet setups ain't gonna hit tomorrow. In my experience, this is all confusion. They're doing all this to confuse, to hide what's really gonna go tomorrow. We could get a gap up, and then the rest of the day it sells off, and then maybe energy or something's going. It's the way the market's set right now. Anything could technically go tomorrow. There's really nothing that has a short bias. I think the biggest thing is if it has a lot of conflict, I'd be more inclined to think that it's not gonna, you know, it was just a short-term little move to the upside. I look at it, probability and common sense. It's gotta build, you gotta build a perimeter of thought. So yeah, let's take a look at some, look at this. I'm barely halfway through this list. Like it was a huge list tonight. So I knew we wasn't gonna touch every one of them. And I'll look at some more later. But I do want to go through a couple of energy tickers and see if there's potential setups for tomorrow. So we'll just scan through these really quick and then I'll let y'all go. We're almost at an hour and a half. We've been cooking today. Oh, first, before I get into energy, I gotta go to shout out Ethiopian Strat Queen last week. I think she probably been the only one that took SO with me last week. Shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? Paid off. So yeah, we're looking at SO, looking like it's trying to go retest that broadening formation again to go try to get all-time highs again. I don't know if they'll do that tomorrow, but we can push back into this broadening formation. That's a good, nice amount of money that can be made. Oh, is this Chicago? So I'm gonna throw this alert. You know, SO is another one. That's a pack exclusive. Only one you're gonna get here in the pack. You know, if they talking about SO, they was definitely in the pack. People would be like, what's that? 79.10 is your level here for my alert, but it looks like price is already above that, so I can't even use that. I'm gonna have to put my alert at the trigger level. Sheesh. Price is ready to bust. Okay. We had outside day today, so looking for continuation there. Also on the week, we got to get back above the broadening formation. I love to see price close above that BF tomorrow, which would then put us back in maybe a hammer. It could actually take the, it could take the candle back green. So yeah, if that does occur, we're looking at hammer, maybe a Momo hammer on the week. On that, so that looks solid. Let's get into some energy. Oh man, look at this. We got two up on the week. Halliburton, better known as Halle Berry. When we talking about Halle, this is what we're talking about. I gotta say it with my country twang, it's that Halle. And so with Halle, we got a 2 down hammer on the 4 hour, looking for that reversal back up, looking like a TTO here with like a full pennant flag, whatever you want to call it. So looking at a level of 31.90 to enter on Halliburton. That is an entry point, 2-2 red, 31.90. So let's move that up a tick. And I keep stressing this, that everything is not going to go off that has these very good looking bullish setups. You've got to be prepared for all scenarios. So if they want to play with us, and because they've got all these sectors up right now, so you can't go in tomorrow thinking that everything is going to go. It's just going to be a party. Everybody, no matter what you got, it's going to go. No, they doing this intentionally. They're trying to do some smoke and mirrors, so you got to be prepared. I don't care what you do, whichever way you go, I'm gonna be ready. That's the whole idea. 51. 7. So that's Oxy. What else are we looking at this week, people's XOM? Similar setup on XOM. I'm not gonna set every trigger that we're doing. The XOM, you've got the same looking setup, very strong. XOM been showing out though. So I mean that one been doing good. You got a 2-2 rev above 99.20. I'm gonna just set it anyway. 99.20. And we've got old CVX. We talked about that one earlier. We should know what it is. I think folks are in stuff like KMI. Yeah, KMI with the inside 4 looking strong. I'm not gonna set it, but there's not an indication or a reflection of how I feel about it. We got Slum. My boy Sin at Slum. Look like Sin and Slum, they pulled back in the second half of the day. I don't know if I believe that or it's going to continue going up tomorrow. What else? What else do we want to look at over here? Energy. Devin, Devon. Mama call him Devin. I'm gonna call him Devin. Devon, Devin. Yeah, that thing moving. And then the other alert I had this week was Fang. This one did break the level and it's just fighting with this broad information. It don't know, it needs to figure out its life. So looking at tomorrow, it actually does have an inside 4-hour setup for tomorrow. Don't know. The contracts on Fang usually are a little more expensive than some of the other energy tickers. So, you know, Fang setup is good, but if you see something that's a little bit more cost effective for you, don't feel, you know, it's all good. But this one does look good. I'll have to see what these contract prices are looking like, but Fang doesn't look bad. Outside day, we had the outside day, yeah. So we're gonna get this 2-1-3 pimping limping. We're looking for an outside day reversal back up. So we may get a 2 up tomorrow or a very strong inside day, which not be bad. But the target there would be 138.14. Not bad. I mean, it's not like insane, but it's not bad either. It just depending on how the price action wants to go tomorrow. I mean, they could let like tech and discretionary get a day in the midst of this, so we'll see. So DoorDash, Lyft. So yeah, we took a look at a lot of these Dash, Lyft, Airbnb. Dash and Airbnb, they all look the same. They all have looking strong inside 4-hour candles. They all have nice, those discretionaries have nice triggers to take to the upside. I don't know if there's much I can distinguish between either two. It's just the whole sector right now looks the same, but in particular, those two, those were like the two last ones I looked at in discretionary, and they look pretty much the same. So they look bullish. I see those as positive. And Lyft, Damon, I couldn't remember on Lyft, but Lyft has a conflict, but it does look good. It could flip the week back green and put you back in continuity at 1626. But you got an inside 4-hour and an inside day. Looks like it's setting up for a reversal. You know, so that would be Lyft, BTU, and Merck. Man, who said Merck? Y'all know that. Woo, we Mercked them last week, didn't we? We Mercked them with Merck. Anyway, Chicago on the 4-hour on BTU. Peabody Energy looking at a 312 above 2791 on BTU. Thing looking good. Good. What else? 2 up on the day. Tomorrow I open up green, so that ain't no issue. Oh, MRK. Y'all already know what we did to it last week. You see that purple line? But yeah, so we're looking at Merck here, 312 Chicago on the 4-hour above $90.36. Ain't that something? You trying? Y'all messing with me. Y'all just go put it at the end like that. Okay. Was Merck last week like 400%? 400+%, something like that. Might have been 5. I wasn't tracking that. That's why I need an assistant to track out this stuff. Make some content for me. All right, what we got on the day here? Outside day, reversal again. Yeah, tomorrow's setting up to be very interesting. You got some stuff that's going to go up and hit a BF and get rejected. You got some stuff that's going to keep going. It's going to be interesting. And yeah, nice. The SO, triple inside week break. That's what happens on triple inside weeks. We you know, something we know a little bit about. I know you know too, brother. We got FE First Energy looking at a Chicago 312 on the day. That's a strong day candle to be inside. Above 40.93 be your trigger point for that Chicago. You're still 2 down on the week, but it looks like you'll flip the week back green at 41 flat. So you're about 7 pennies away. Still green on the month, but you take the month back green at 41 flat as well. So interesting. That thing could flip from conflict to big green like in 10 cents. So that should be interesting. And this is something that we talk about in Strat 101 about potential change and continuity. So it's in conflict, but you see where price action is moving. You see the potential for where what it would cause the higher time frames in terms of their candles. So it goes from going to conflict to this being green, and then next thing you should see a reversal on the, you know, so it's like this kind of continuation of things that trigger. It's like the domino, like the boy FICO has coined. Larry, I don't like to pull this ticker up unless Cam's on, because this is his thing. So I don't know if Cameron's on, if he wants to give us a breakdown of the D. Okay, I guess he's not on. All right, it's a moment of silence for Cameron. All right. On the day right here, we've got double inside. Okay. We got double inside days here. We've got an entry potentially on the day above $84.45 on the D. We are inside on the week, inside on the 4 hour. So you got a bunch of insides in there. Well, the week is conflicting. The day and week are red and 4 hours green. So we got a bunch of inside setups, triggers all over the place. So the D is in conflict. I can see if it triggers this one, pushes the day green and double inside day break. So, I mean, there's a lot that's going on here. So if it does break, the price has not been moving up. So I'm inclined to kind of leave it alone because it looks like it's been going flat. But I do see the potential. If the first trigger hits, it'll take the second, the day level, break it'll break that trigger, which will then in turn push price up, which to probably make the week back green at some point. So there's a lot to it, but I like it, but I you know, it's kind of like one of those things I'm kind of iffy on. And then when I'm iffy, I'm gonna go to my list and say, okay, in comparison with everything else on my list, where would it rank with me being iffy on it? So then that kind of settles it from there. Now here on K Roger, Kroger, for y'all that don't know the pack lingo just yet. We got Kroger inside 4 hour. I don't like the new lows. Like I don't like that. It looks like it's squeezed, like it's being pinched between two broadening formations. So it's got to make a decision here very soon. So I mean, I guess the bull case would be that, hey, it's pushed down below these broadening formations and it's getting pushed up by this quarter, week, month BF, and is going to make its way in contact with this weekly above its head. But then what happens there? Is it going to continue to do a pinball thing in between, or is this going to be the instance where it pushes out? So all that decision making and all that's too much indecision for a trade that I need. Like, I need decisiveness on. So that's what it is. It's more so decisiveness. If it's something that I gotta like I don't like that. I need to be able to see it quickly and understand it quickly and not having to formulate a plan. Like, this ain't no swing play. I don't like all these steps. Like, that's too much in my estimation. And for that reason, I'm gonna leave Kroger alone. But no, Smitty, I think this Kroger, because it's pinching, so it's squeezing between these BFs, bro. So like in my mind, what I would want to do is like buy a week, maybe a couple weeks out, and then let it bust, because it's gonna bust. And probably to the upside. Like, but for tomorrow, I don't know. It's kind of like in between. That's kind of how I look at it. Like, I would probably want to buy like a couple weeks or a week just to let it finish its thing, because it looks like it's just traveling in between these broad formations. So when this thing does squeeze out, it's probably gonna shoot to that $54 level. And so that's the move I want. I probably but I mean, hell, you never know. Tomorrow could be the day. But yeah, I see that more breaking to that 54 or north of 54. I don't know if tomorrow's gonna give us enough time. With, I don't know. It may have one more cycle in it before it break out of there. I don't know. But that's just kind of my thinking on it. I would want to buy, what's this, the 26th or tomorrow the 26th. Yeah, I probably want to have like 16s loaded up, or maybe next week's loaded up in anticipation. It just put a lot of pressure, because I'm like, damn, I don't want this thing to go tomorrow. 50.34 is the top of the chop range on it. It's only $1 out. So. And you can see it's flagging. I mean, there's buyers present. So it's like, how long is it going to consolidate right there is the question. Blue collar. What are my thoughts on taking the play right to Bell? Of course, that's what we did last week with MRK. There are instances where I will take a trade at the bell. I don't make it like a regular thing, but yeah, absolutely. I'll take, I do that all the time. Yeah. Well, not all the time, but I do it when it's appropriate, I should say. I think the bigger thing is, you can anticipate like there may be some corrective activity. Is probably like the main thing you want to like take into consideration. That's all. Like, if you take a trade early like that, it might be some corrective activity or pullback or something. So just be mindful of that, and maybe you have to like buy into another position, whatever the case may be. But yeah, for me, yeah, it's more so about is the trade doing is it going according to the plan that I had put in place? Like with MRK, last week, the thing was going bullish, the sector was looking strong, it was pushing up on the trigger point, and it had everything that I needed to move forward in the trade. And so, that's all I needed, more so than the time. The time is not even a factor for me if everything hits my check boxes. That's not it. Yeah. So that's kind of how I look at it. But I will say we know how it behaves in the beginning. So there are instances where it can pull back or, do all kind of weird stuff. But for the most part, I'm taking my triggers when they trigger. The time of when it triggers is secondary. So that's probably like the best way I could put that. Let me see. Oh yeah, I do one-on-one. Oh, good looking out, Chad. Yep. Let's sir. Oh man, y'all keep me sharp. Y'all keep me sharp. Y'all keep the questions coming. So it's a mutual thing. Y'all come with the questions. Y'all don't ask all the same questions. They differ. You gotta make sure you on your game to be able to answer these. So that's kind of my thought on the wrap up Kroger. Kroger's bullish. Kroger's going to continue to go up. It looks like right now it's just in a consolidation. And my question would be to myself would be, do I feel like it's going to continue up tomorrow to break out of this break? Or do I want to buy some more time to make sure that I catch this break? Because I guess for a short move tomorrow, if you wanted to scalp it, maybe you could target out the 4 hour today's high of that 49.60, which I think would be fine. And my only concern with that would just be that broad information because one's pinching down, the others are pushing up. So that they're gonna force it to make a decision here soon. So tomorrow could be the day. But that's just kind of my thought process. I think Kroger's super bullish, and we know Staples is going. It's just hard to say what day that's gonna be. But the BF right there is on really my big concern. Coin, man. See, here's one good. Hey, thank you for pointing this out, Miriam. But with Coin has a very good 4 hour looking setup here. The challenge with Coin is that it's been in a downtrend. And so just based on what we're trying to identify with these trades, it wouldn't fit the criteria what we're looking for. In terms of it pushing down, I think what I try to, get people to understand is you want to find something that's like the setup is cool, but then on top of the setup, you want to take some other things into account. Like, hey, is this in an uptrend? Is this in a sector that's moving in the direction that I want my trade to go? What are the other factors that could support or oppose your position on this trade? You got to take in some other information too to help you with that. And so that's what we focus on here. Understanding that, hey, the strat is a great tool. It is the best tool. However, if you can't use it as the end all be all, there's still some more things you have to add to it to amplify it in the manner to give you the results that you're looking for. Otherwise, and I reference this all the time, we got a Facebook group with like 6,000 stratters who so we have proof that following those setups, just the setups, do not work. Oh, great. I'm glad. Thank you. Jasmine. Okay. Am I taking a smaller time frame entry in anticipation for the 4 hour to trigger? Nope. I'm waiting on my 4 hour. My 4 hour is my smaller time frame anticipation trigger. I don't go any lower than that. Because there's no setup pre-market. That's the lowest you really can go. It's 4 hour. We want like a morning trigger. Outside of that, you got to look for the day. So I go to the 4. It's kind of unique to the pack. That's a pack exclusive. If you're taking trades off the 4 hour using the pack, we kind of mixed our own sauce and came up with our own method for utilizing the strat, because most of the strat is based in day trading and scalping and all that. So there's no real material on swinging the strat. So we had to create it. We had to create what that looks like. So that's kind of where we've been with it. But with these 4 hour triggers, that is the trigger. I haven't really tried to get in on lower than that on like pre-market. I have these triggers set before. So it's really hard for me to go off like an hour or a 30-minute trigger, like from today to take it into tomorrow. You know, it's kind of hard for me to do. The 4-hour makes more sense in that regard because I'm looking for something to trigger first thing in the morning or in the morning. So yeah. Now later in the day, yeah, we'll take a lower time frame trigger. But yeah, so for example, we have the setup tonight. Tomorrow morning, the levels we're looking at are going to be very close to where it opens up in the morning. So all these 4-hour triggers we just said, some of them are going to trigger like almost immediately. Some might trigger in 5 minutes, some might trigger in 20 or 30. Some might do the down then up, and they might trigger in an hour. So majority of the time, you don't even have an opportunity to wait to take that earlier entry in anticipation unless you're getting on like the 5 minute or the minute. And for me, usually it's not that serious. I'll just wait. If I'm scalping, that's a different story. It's all, you know, it's all about the type of trade. These aren't scalps, or, you know, we're looking to hang in these for a little while. So, yeah. And then for anybody who's not familiar with the Analyze tab on Thinkorswim, you can go to our YouTube channel, Alpha Pack Trading, and go and view the Analyze tab video that was created by FICO, which helps you, you know, takes you through like a step-by-step on how to utilize it. You know, so that'll help you as a tool as you go and evaluate your trades and potential trades and setups and things of that nature. So that's a big tool that's helped a lot of us as well. But yeah, I think like, you know, the main process here is like we go through this step of, you know, we always go through this step of like identifying tickers, and then, all right, you got the setup, now go do it. And like, no, there's like more to it than that. It's like, okay, yeah, you identify the tickers and the setups, that's great. We just collected data, fine. The next step though, we've got to go and evaluate to see if it's a good potential trade. Just because it has a setup doesn't mean it's a good potential trade. We got to go and evaluate that. And we evaluate that by adding our broadening formations. And then once we have added our broadening formations, we can understand the direction, not even a direction, but where the story, you can see the story of where price is going, what's happening, what you can anticipate happening. And then once that happens, you can craft a thesis around potential trades for these tickers that you're looking at. Some of them you may say, I don't like that, with that broad information. Some of you say, ooh, this looks really appealing. I'm going to develop a thesis or a thought plan or strategy, or I'm going to draw out a plan of what I think this ticker is going to do based on the data that I have. And then you go and correlate that with these contracts using the Analyze tab that I just described from that Thinkorswim video. You go and you develop a path. You're like, oh, based on these charts, I feel like this thing's going to go to $65. So now you go to your Analyze tab, you start pulling up the $60 strikes, the 57, the 65, the 63. You start looking and evaluating those contracts, and you play with the time. You say, hey, this is the monthly expiration. This is next week. This is 2 weeks out. You start testing all of those theories and seeing what the return on investment will be based on those different theories. Now you know this trade in and out. And now you're prepared to go into tomorrow. You know what contracts to select. You know which ones are the good ones, which ones are the bad ones. You know which ones have broad information. You don't have to do much thinking. It's all about action. And so, but it takes that time on the front end now to get all that noise out of the way. You got to clear the minutia. So yeah, that's kind of like the whole thing in a nutshell. And yeah, Jasmine, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I think for us, it's the type of trade you're looking for. So like if I'm like if you go to my Strat 101 classes on Tuesday, I break it down even further, but it's like we're looking for continuation plays for 0 days, right? So I'm not looking for reversals. I don't want any doubt. I want stuff that's already moving. I'm just getting into continuation versus the longer swings that we do and things of that nature. Those are reversals. We're looking for longer moves to the upside that could span over weeks and days and things. So we do go and identify. We always look at the higher time frames. I mean, that's the first thing we do, but in correlation with the trade, we're talking about macros, so week, month, year, quarter, like those are the time frames we're evaluating and classifying as higher. Anything the day and below is considered a micro time frame to me. And so I focus on the macros to give me understanding of what direction this sector, this ticker is going to do from a long-term perspective. Once I understand what it's going to do long-term, I can make short-term decisions based on that long-term information. So if I know a sector is going to run for 6 months, I can take 3 2-month trades. I can take 6 1-month trades. I can take a trade every week in this sector if I feel like there's the opportunity to do so. So that's how you're able to manipulate the market to your advantage and not be reactionary to what's happening in the market. And so that's why we played one sector for 6 months consecutively, because that's the only thing the market was giving away. And we took advantage of it and not tried to bang our head against the wall playing tech and, other sectors that weren't going up. So I think that's really a big part of it. Like we just, we can't force it. We just got to take what's there. And so I'll stop there. We've had a pretty robust session today. We had about almost 2 hours. Man, this might be the record. I don't know though. We've had some pretty long ones in the past, but this one here is pretty thorough tonight. So with that, I'm gonna wrap it up. So with y'all, I would just recommend y'all go ahead and start adding broadening formations to these tickers that we reviewed tonight. Also, take some time to go and develop some contracts that you think that would be appropriate, and go and put them on an analyze tab so you can see what your potential payout will be tomorrow. And then you kind of have your thesis of your watch list set, and you don't have to take them all. You just filter down. And I'm going to do the same. And I'm going to put my list out in a couple hours, and we'll be ready to rock and roll in the morning. We're going to be ready to make some more chicken and take advantage of the market like we always do. So with that, I'm going to leave y'all to it. Y'all have a great evening. Peace.